Hello, friends and beautiful people. It's Kathryn and Elevated Consciousness Coach, 5D Visionary. How are you? How are you holding up? How is everyone out there? I'm going to share in my group. Global Acceleration of Ascension, a virtual summit. Starting this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, going for 3 days. If you have not been on Facebook or you've been not paying attention, there is a really special virtual summit coming up online this Saturday, the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th, Global Acceleration of Ascension Virtual Summit. 30 presenters all over the globe, free live stream event being live streamed right into the group I've created, the Global Acceleration of Ascension Virtual Summit meeting place. You can join with this link right here if you're not in there already, because I am broadcasting to my group right now. So very, very exciting. Come join us in this group. We're like 250 members now. And I assume we're going to probably be double that before this Saturday when we begin. We've got 30 presenters, as I've mentioned, from all over the globe. We start at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, go until 9 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. We start up again on Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we go till 8 p.m. Eastern. And we do our final day of presenters on Monday, March 30th, starting 11 a.m. Eastern and going until 6 p.m. Eastern. There's the link to check it out in the group that I've created. You can also watch where I'll be live streaming on YouTube, and that's going to be right here. So you want to subscribe to my channel to watch on YouTube. The replays will exist there on my YouTube channel afterwards, and they will also exist in the Facebook group afterwards. I'm probably going to compile them and make audio versions of it so that the presenters can share with their people in their communities. I have not completely decided yet if I'm going to do that because there's just so much going on. Truth be told, you know, with everyone out of work, and I'm extremely sympathetic and empathetic to what's going on with everyone. Lots of people got lots of downtime right now. I am busier than I've been in a long time. That's just because I set myself up to create this event, to cultivate and support this event. And that is such a passion project for me right now that I'm very excited about. But I have also been getting tons and tons of downloads about what's going on. There are a lot of things happening beneath the surface of what we're seeing play out in our physical 3D reality with the COVID-19, the coronavirus pandemic. It is just one thing that is going on the planet right now. Yes, it's causing a lot of timelines of fear, of panic, hysteria to play out in a very real, very practical way in the lives of a lot of people right now. But I want you to know, and I wanted to create this quick live about this, that there is so much more going on in between the cracks, in the seams and folds of our consciousness right now. There are a lot of different things at work that I would like to clue you guys into right now, if you haven't been feeling it already. So we have, because we are playing off of dueling agendas right now in terms of where our consciousness is at. We are working with negative ego mind programming consciousness, which is keeping us mind locked into the false ascension matrix. But we are also competing with a higher agenda, let's just say a higher template of creation that is the true organic ascension matrix. And there are a lot of gateways that are opening to accessing that level of consciousness right now. One thing that you can call them are guardian gateways, guardian pathways. We here at this particular time, many of us who are choosing the ascension path, who are choosing to go further on our journey of spiritual awakening, we are the guardians. We are the guardian hosts of the new earth, if you will. Now, there are those who are disembodied, meaning they're not incarnate in 3D reality, who are guardian hosts. And then there are those of us, like you and me, who are guardian hosts incarnate, meaning we chose or were selected to come here and be keepers of the garden, essentially. And there is a great deal of cultivation of the new earth garden, let's just say, taking hold. Our original blueprint for planet Earth and what this planet is supposed to be in terms of its greater role in the cosmos, we have a divine blueprint for that. Just as we have a divine blueprint for our human beingness, we have a divine blueprint for Mother Earth too. And we are going through this process of constantly creating this divine alchemy, of reconciling the divine earth blueprint with the divine human blueprint. We are on that path in a very accelerated way right now. And those who are carrying the light, those who are anchoring the light, those who are being the thought leaders and speaking truth, those who are being the ones who are helping humanity through this time of personal, spiritual, emotional, physical crisis to find the higher path, to see the deeper divine underpinnings of what's really going on. Those are the guardians, the guardian hosts of the new earth, the keepers of the garden, the tenders of the garden. We are actively at work behind the scenes, pulling out the weeds, meaning collapsing the false timelines, collapsing the false paradigms and power structures and agendas of domination, manipulation, control, and otherwise that are taking the planet in a direction we do not wish to go. And what is happening, and the most divine underpinning of all of this, is that many people who have been asleep for a very long time are waking up to just this scenario and are seeing things through fresh eyes. They're seeing things through that divine template overlay of who they really are, instead of the negative ego identity overlay, which is how they viewed perhaps their whole life and perhaps many, many lifetimes here on this garden planet of Earth. And yes, it is very much a garden planet, because what we are planting here on planet Earth is not like anywhere else in the multiverses. What we have here is very unique and very special, and it's time that we wake up to that as well. And it's time that we become more steadfast guardians of that new Earth, okay, which is actually the old Earth. It's Terra. So that template has already been there. It's just that we have been systematically siphoning off our energy for thousands and thousands of years towards an agenda that is not our own. Siphoned off our divine energy, our etheric, divine human alchemy, let's just say, of creating the new earth and making it physical in the 3D reality. This is a very exciting and very special time for us who feel called to step up, called to really access those higher consciousness pathways that are being opened by those of us here incarnate doing the work as guardian hosts. And it's also being opened by those who are guardian hosts that are not in a body, that are disembodied, okay? There are a lot of hands and irons in the fire right now, helping humanity to ascend, helping humanity reach a higher level of consciousness. But we are also, at the same time, with these dueling agendas that I mentioned at the beginning, you know, many of us who are not awakened, who don't want to wake up. There are a lot of people on this planet who will refuse to awaken. They don't even believe that that's something they can do. They're not even connected to the idea that they are luminous beings at the core of who they are. And they are not going to wake up in this lifetime. That's okay. It's all okay. You know why? Because everyone is on their own timeline. Yes, we are working off of collective timelines, but everyone is working on their own timeline. That's why no one is wrong right now. No one is wrong. And that's a hard thing for some of us to process. But if you pull back the lens and see that everyone is a divine human being that came here to exercise free will choice, is working off of their own individual timeline. They are making choices that is aligned with their particular journey, their particular pathway of awakening or not awakening. And it is the job of people like me and many other people who call themselves guardian hosts on this planet to completely hold that space for them, even though it doesn't jibe with, what we'd like to see necessarily. It's none of my business. All I can do is hold space for those who are waking up, but I will still hold space for those who refuse to, don't want to, can't wake up. Because that's the compassion and the unity consciousness of the new earth. Knowing that everyone is on their own timeline. Everyone is working off their own template of creation, and bless them and leave them to it. But for those who understand what I'm laying down, those who jibe with my vibe, I'm here for you, and I'm here to work with those people very practically and tangibly, and that's what I do. So one way to really access and embody this divine alchemy that is here on the planet, helping us to, reclaim our divine ascension blueprint, our birthright, essentially, for being, those beings that will move from more carbon-based structures to the pre-crystalline silicon matrix that we are becoming. This is happening. We are moving into our luminous beingness. This is happening, okay? This is not just me spouting off fantasies. This is happening, okay? Those of you are feeling it in your body one way or another. Some of us want to eat less. I'm not really hungry at all right now. I'm eating like very, very little. I feel like I'm living off of air right now. Some of you are hungry and want to eat everything. Some of you feel like you don't need any sleep, but you feel fine. Some of you feel like you want to nap 6-7 hours a day. Everyone is experiencing this on their own timeline. They're experiencing this differently, but this is happening, okay? So if you are all in on moving into this next stage of ascended consciousness, understand that there is really good probability of you being here as a guardian host yourself, you being here as a keeper of the garden. Our role on this planet right now is a very, very, very important one. We have a huge, colossal task in front of us. And that's why, those of us who have been behind the scenes doing this work for sometimes 20 years, okay, we can't lone wolf it anymore. We need to come together as a collective. This is how the true divine alchemy of moving into our original divine human blueprint takes hold. It has to be a big collective push behind it. There has to be a lot of energy behind it, because the very strong energies of the false ascension matrix and the artificial machinery that drives that and is the motor behind it are these false timelines that are playing out right now on the planet. This is part of what has to die out and collapse and dissolve in 3D before we can really embody the ultimate vision of our quintessence. I love to use the word quintessence because to me, when I think of quintessence, and this is something that is downloaded into my consciousness quite a bit lately in dream time, it's the ultimate embodiment of our higher heart awareness, like right up here, our tortoise heart. It's right in between the throat chakra and the heart chakra. It is the ultimate embodiment of the higher heart and the higher mind intelligence that is our sovereign birthright. Okay? So we don't have to be hijacked anymore by energetic parasitism, which is exactly what the false ascension matrix and those who would hold us back are trying to do. Keep us blind to the truth. Keep us blind to the fact that we are free. That's our sovereign blueprint. That's our sovereign birthright. And it is coded into our fucking DNA, okay? Those who would hold us back are wanting to keep us from that progression into the next elevated station of ascended consciousness, where we are complicit in devious agendas of fear, panic, hysteria, domination, manipulation, control. There is just as much as we have this collective petition to put a big push behind elevating our ascended consciousness, there is just as big of an energetic match of a push to keep us locked mind locked into the devious agendas of the false ascension matrix. I'm not going to talk about all the conspiracies at play right now. That is not my job. There's plenty of information out there on the internet if you want to dig into that stuff. My role, my position as guardian host is to talk about what's next. What does that look like? And how do we cross that bridge to start embodying that now? So if you want to rally behind me, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm sharing. That's why I created the Global Acceleration of Ascension Virtual Summit starting this Saturday. That's why I teach about all things time and timelines. It is so important to understand more about time and timelines. There's a really profound and deep spiritual advantage in understanding the nature of time right now and timelines on this planet, because it allows you to accelerate your awakening process. It allows you to choose a new and higher consciousness pathway that is aligned with embodying your diamond light of Christed consciousness. This is available to you right now. And because you are a being of free will here in this 3D time-space matrix, you get to decide. You're not wrong either way. I have love for you either way. If you want to choose to keep anchoring the energies of the false ascension matrix, I bless you either way. If you want to choose the other timeline that is aligned with our true organic ascension blueprint of becoming divine human, reclaiming your divine human birthright, the guardian timeline, which is a parallel and preferred reality to the one that's playing out in the 3D time-space matrix right now, I will hold that space for you too. There's a way to anchor into these guardian timelines in a way where you're not going into the negative ego identity and the fear and that kind of the sky is falling, the world is ending type cataclysmic intelligence. Because there is an intelligence behind that, believe me, but it is not higher mind intelligence. Either paradigm that you're supporting, I have love for you either way. But if you'd like to rally behind me, as I am helping as a guardian host in my guardian host capacity to anchor into these guardian timelines and perpetuate and drive the force behind the true organic ascension matrix, come on in. So join us in the group. This is a great way to get introduced to, what I do, who I am, but all the people that I am proud to surround myself with. The community that I've cultivated here on Facebook is phenomenal. And these are the people that are presenting for this Global Acceleration of Ascension Summit. I am so proud and so humbled to be in such great company. So come and join us for that. Come and join us for Timelines Expanded Masterclass. That's starting up again on April 16th. There's going to be 11 modules. It's pretty intense, and I will give you the link for that. And I want this to be as accessible as possible. So what I have done is I've actually taken half the investment price off of this program. If you go to this link and read just some of the member reviews, I've taught this twice before. It is a class like nothing else out there. No one else is teaching this, not in this way, in such a comprehensive level, on a way that you can grasp it and understand it. Yes, it is spiritually advanced in a lot of ways, but there's also people who are ready for this knowledge, thirsty for this knowledge. And in the way I teach it, I try to make it as practical and tangible with real life benefits as much as I can. So check that out. And please come and join us in our Facebook group for the Global Acceleration of Ascension Summit happening this Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and I'm so excited about it. I can barely contain myself. I think that's why I'm not sleeping. So I hope this has helped you guys. I hope this has brought in a little bit of solace, a little bit of sanctuary for you to kind of dig your heels into. If you want some more inspiration, please go to my YouTube channel. There's hundreds of videos on my YouTube channel that talk about all things spiritual awakening and ascension related, timeline, healing, and time bending related. You can binge on that. You can also find my Time Benders Toolbox podcast, which is on iTunes, Google Play, it's on Stitcher, it's on a couple other things that you can subscribe to and get even more information about timeline healing and time bending. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you all in the summit. Love and peace.